Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why those dark patches on your face, hands, or neck seem to multiply every year? At first, it may have been a tiny spot that barely caught your attention. Then another appeared. Before long, they became impossible to ignore. You may have blamed aging, spent money on expensive creams, experimented with homemade remedies, or even visited a dermatologist hoping for a miracle solution. Yet the answer often sounds disappointingly simple. It's just part of getting older. But what if that explanation is incomplete? What if those stubborn dark spots are not simply signs of age, but silent messages from your body telling you that something deeper needs attention? Today's discussion will completely change the way you think about skin pigmentation. Instead of focusing only on what you can apply to the outside of your skin, we're going to explore what is happening inside your body. Because the truth is, healthy skin begins long before any cream ever touches your face. Many people spend hundreds of dollars chasing products that promise brighter, younger-looking skin. Some treatments may temporarily reduce the appearance of pigmentation, but the spots often return. Why? Because they are treating the surface while ignoring the real source of the problem. Your skin is not working alone. Every organ in your body plays a role in keeping it healthy. When internal systems become overwhelmed or unbalanced, your skin often becomes one of the first places where those changes become visible. Dark spots can be one of those warning signs. To understand this, we first need to look at the tiny cells responsible for your skin color. Deep beneath the surface, live specialized cells known as melanocytes. Their job is remarkably simple. They produce melanin, the natural pigment that gives your skin its color and protects it from ultraviolet radiation. When your body is functioning efficiently, these cells work together like a perfectly coordinated team, spreading pigment evenly across your skin. The result is a smooth, balanced complexion. However, problems begin when those pigment-producing cells stop working in harmony. Instead of distributing melanin evenly, certain melanocytes become overactive while others slow down. Rather than creating a uniform skin tone, they begin releasing excessive pigment into small, concentrated areas. Gradually, those areas become darker than the surrounding skin, creating what many people call age spots. Here's the important point that surprises many people. Growing older does not automatically damage these cells. Instead, it is the gradual buildup of stress, inflammation, environmental exposure, and internal imbalance that disrupts how they function. Age simply gives these problems more time to develop. That distinction changes everything, because if the underlying causes can be identified, they can often be improved through healthier habits and better support for your body's natural processes. One of the biggest misconceptions involves sunlight. For decades, people have been told that the sun is the primary cause of age spots. While sunlight certainly contributes, it is only one piece of a much larger picture. Think of sunlight as a spark. A spark alone cannot create a fire unless fuel is already present. The real question isn't only how much sunlight reaches your skin. The more important question is whether your body has created the conditions that allow those pigment cells to overreact in the first place. That's why some people spend years protecting themselves from the sun, faithfully applying sunscreen every day, wearing hats, and avoiding direct sunlight whenever possible, yet their pigmentation continues to worsen. The external protection helps, but it cannot completely overcome internal imbalance. So where does that imbalance begin? One of the first places researchers and health professionals often examine is an organ that rarely gets connected to skin health, the liver. At first glance, that connection may sound strange. What could an organ hidden deep inside your abdomen possibly have to do with the appearance of your face? The answer is far more fascinating than most people realize. Your liver is one of the busiest organs in your entire body. Every single day, it performs hundreds of essential tasks that keep you alive. It filters your blood, processes nutrients, helps digest fats, stores important vitamins, breaks down unwanted substances, and supports countless chemical reactions every minute. But one of its lesser-known responsibilities is helping maintain healthy skin. Every day, your body encounters compounds that must be processed and safely removed. These can come from food, medications, pollution, household chemicals, and normal metabolic waste. Your liver works tirelessly to neutralize these substances before they create problems elsewhere. However, when that workload becomes too heavy, the body's balance begins to shift. And that shift is exactly where our story continues, because the relationship between your liver and your skin is much closer than most people have ever been told. When the liver is functioning efficiently, it quietly performs its job without drawing any attention. Day after day, it filters your blood, processes waste products, and helps your body eliminate substances that no longer belong there. Most people never think about it because they don't have to. But when the liver becomes overworked, the effects can gradually appear in places you wouldn't expect, including your skin. Imagine trying to clean an entire house with a vacuum cleaner whose filter is completely clogged. It still works, but not nearly as well as it should. Dust begins collecting in places that normally stay clean. In a similar way, when the liver struggles to keep pace with its workload, your body looks for alternative ways to handle the excess burden. One of those backup systems is your skin. Your skin isn't simply a protective covering. It is one of the body's largest and most active organs. Besides shielding you from the outside world, it also participates in removing certain waste products through sweat and other natural processes. When internal detoxification systems become less efficient, your skin often ends up carrying part of that extra responsibility. As this happens, the delicate pigment-producing cells beneath the surface may become irritated. Instead of maintaining an even complexion, they begin producing melanin in an uneven pattern. Over time, darker patches can appear on the face, hands, chest, and neck, areas that naturally receive more environmental exposure. This explains why some people invest heavily in cosmetic products without seeing lasting improvement. A cream may temporarily brighten the surface, but if the underlying imbalance continues, the pigmentation often returns. It's similar to repainting a wall while ignoring the leaking pipe hidden behind it. The fresh paint may look good for a while, but until the leak is repaired, the damage keeps coming back. The encouraging news is that the liver possesses an incredible ability to recover when given the proper support. Unlike many organs, it has a remarkable capacity to regenerate and improve its performance through consistent healthy habits. The first step doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated detox programs. It begins with hydration. Starting your morning with a glass of warm water can gently encourage your digestive system to wake up after a night's rest. Many people also enjoy adding a slice of fresh lemon, which may help stimulate bile production. Bile plays an important role in digesting fats and supporting normal liver function. If citrus doesn't agree with your stomach, warm water on its own is still a simple habit worth adopting. Next comes your daily food choices. The liver benefits from foods that naturally support digestion rather than constantly overwhelming it. Fresh vegetables, whole foods, and meals prepared with minimal processing place far less stress on the body's filtering systems than diets filled with heavily processed snacks and fried foods. One category of foods deserves special attention: bitter vegetables. Although their flavor isn't everyone's favorite, bitter greens have been valued for generations because they naturally encourage healthy digestion. Foods like dandelion greens, arugula, and similar leafy vegetables can become valuable additions to a balanced diet. Even herbal teas made from dandelion root have traditionally been used to support digestive health. Another important change involves eliminating artificial trans fats whenever possible. These unhealthy fats are commonly found in inexpensive baked goods, packaged pastries, processed snacks, and many fast foods. They not only increase inflammation throughout the body, but also create additional work for the liver every single day. Reading ingredient labels becomes surprisingly powerful. If you frequently notice terms like partially hydrogenated oils, that's a sign the product contains artificial trans fats. Replacing those foods with healthier sources of natural fats, such as nuts, seeds, olive oil, avocados, or moderate amounts of real butter, can reduce unnecessary stress on your body's internal systems. These may seem like small adjustments, but small habits repeated every day often produce the biggest long-term results. As your liver becomes more efficient, your skin no longer has to compensate for the extra burden. Internal balance begins improving, and that improvement may gradually become visible on the outside as well. But the liver tells only part of the story. Even if your liver is functioning well, another hidden system can quietly fuel inflammation throughout your entire body, making pigmentation problems even more stubborn. That system lives inside your digestive tract. Scientists now recognize a powerful connection between intestinal health and skin appearance, a relationship often called the gut-skin axis. And once you understand how your gut influences your complexion, you'll realize why healthy digestion may be just as important as anything you apply directly to your skin. The more scientists study the human body, the clearer one fact becomes. Healthy skin doesn't begin with the products on your bathroom shelf. It often begins in a place most people never associate with pigmentation at all: your gut. Inside your digestive system lives an enormous community of microorganisms. Trillions of beneficial bacteria work around the clock, performing tasks that are essential for overall health. They help break down food, produce certain vitamins, strengthen your immune system, and regulate inflammation throughout the body. Although they're microscopic, their influence reaches nearly every organ, including your skin. When these beneficial bacteria are thriving, your intestinal lining remains strong and selective. It acts like a highly trained security team, allowing nutrients to enter your bloodstream while keeping unwanted substances where they belong. But modern lifestyles can throw this balance completely off. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, frequent antibiotic use, chronic stress, poor sleep, and lack of dietary fiber can gradually reduce the number of beneficial bacteria living in your gut. As this healthy population declines, less desirable bacteria begin taking over. Over time, the protective lining of the intestines may become less effective. Instead of acting as a secure barrier, tiny gaps can develop that allow substances to pass into the bloodstream more easily than they should. Researchers continue studying this condition, often referring to it as increased intestinal permeability. When this occurs, your immune system responds by triggering low-grade inflammation throughout the body. Unlike an obvious infection that causes pain or fever, this inflammation is quiet. You don't necessarily feel sick. There may be no warning signs that anything is happening at all. Yet beneath the surface, your immune system remains constantly active. That continuous inflammatory state can affect countless tissues, including the melanocytes responsible for producing skin pigment. Remember the example of sunlight acting like a spark? This chronic inflammation is the fuel. If inflammation continues day after day, pigment-producing cells become increasingly sensitive. Instead of responding normally to sunlight, hormones, or minor irritation, they begin overreacting, depositing excessive melanin into specific areas of the skin. The result is the gradual appearance of uneven pigmentation. This is one reason why treating only the outside of the skin often leads to frustration. The real conversation has to include the health of your digestive system. Fortunately, supporting your gut doesn't have to be complicated. One of the easiest ways to nourish beneficial bacteria is by eating naturally fermented foods. Traditional fermented cabbage, prepared without excessive preservatives or artificial ingredients, contains naturally occurring probiotics that help replenish healthy bacteria inside the digestive tract. Even a few spoonfuls each day can become a valuable part of a balanced eating routine. Plain kefir is another excellent option. Unlike sugary flavored varieties, plain kefir contains live cultures that may help restore microbial diversity inside the gut. Drinking a small glass in the evening fits naturally into many people's daily routine and provides beneficial bacteria while your body enters its overnight repair cycle. But probiotics alone aren't enough. Healthy bacteria also need food. That food comes from dietary fiber. Fiber isn't digested the same way other nutrients are. Instead, it becomes nourishment for the beneficial microorganisms living inside your intestines. Without enough fiber, even the healthiest bacteria struggle to survive. Simple foods like oats, vegetables, legumes, fruits, seeds, and whole grains provide exactly the nourishment these microorganisms need. A bowl of traditional oatmeal prepared from whole oats, not heavily processed instant packets, is an excellent place to start. Combined with fresh fruit or a handful of seeds, it supplies both fiber and valuable nutrients that support digestive health. Movement also plays a surprisingly important role. Many people spend most of the day sitting, whether working, driving, or relaxing. Unfortunately, long periods of inactivity slow the natural muscular contractions that move food through the digestive tract. Gentle daily movement helps stimulate normal digestion. Even something as simple as walking after meals or performing light stretching encourages healthy intestinal function. Some people also find gentle abdominal massage relaxing. Using slow circular motions over the abdomen may help promote comfort while encouraging normal digestive activity. These habits may seem unrelated to your complexion, but every improvement inside the digestive system reduces the inflammatory burden carried by the entire body. As inflammation decreases, melanocytes receive fewer abnormal signals, making them more likely to distribute pigment evenly rather than clustering it into dark patches. Now we arrive at another important piece of the puzzle. Many people believe sunlight is the enemy they should avoid at all costs. The truth is much more balanced. Sunlight can certainly influence pigmentation, but whether it becomes harmful often depends on the condition of your body before your skin is ever exposed. By now, it's becoming clear that dark spots are rarely caused by a single factor. Instead, they develop when several internal and external influences begin working together. One of the biggest misconceptions is that sunlight alone is responsible. While ultraviolet rays certainly affect the skin, they are usually acting on a body that has already become vulnerable from the inside. Think of your skin as a well-trained security team. When your body is healthy, your pigment-producing cells respond to sunlight in a controlled and balanced way. They produce melanin evenly across the skin, creating a natural shield that helps protect against ultraviolet damage. This is the body's normal defense mechanism, and in moderation, it's actually beneficial. Problems begin when those same cells are already under stress. If chronic inflammation is present because of poor digestion, liver overload, nutritional deficiencies, or ongoing stress, melanocytes become far more reactive. Instead of producing an even layer of pigment, they release excessive melanin into isolated areas. The result is not a healthy tan, but patches of uneven discoloration that become more noticeable with every season. This explains why two people can spend the same amount of time in the sun, yet experience completely different outcomes. One develops an even complexion. The other notices dark patches becoming larger and darker year after year. The difference often lies in what is happening inside their bodies long before sunlight ever touches their skin. That doesn't mean you should fear the sun. In fact, avoiding sunlight altogether creates a different set of problems. Your body relies on sunlight to manufacture vitamin D, one of the most important nutrients for overall health. Vitamin D supports immune function, helps regulate inflammation, contributes to healthy cell renewal, and plays a role in maintaining normal skin function. Unfortunately, many adults, especially as they grow older, have vitamin D levels that are lower than they realize. Unlike many deficiencies, low vitamin D rarely causes dramatic symptoms at first. Instead, it quietly develops over months or even years. During that time, the body continues functioning, but not as efficiently as it could. Researchers have found growing evidence that maintaining healthy vitamin D levels supports the normal behavior of skin cells, including melanocytes. While scientists continue investigating the exact biological mechanisms, the overall connection between vitamin D and skin health is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The encouraging part is that supporting healthy vitamin D levels doesn't always require expensive supplements. For many people, moderate exposure to natural sunlight provides an excellent starting point. Spending around 15 to 20 minutes outdoors during appropriate times of the day allows your skin to begin producing vitamin D naturally. The exact amount of sunlight needed varies depending on skin tone, location, season, and weather, but moderate exposure can be beneficial without overdoing it. Nutrition also plays an important role. Fatty fish such as herring, salmon, sardines, and mackerel naturally contain significant amounts of vitamin D. Eggs, particularly the yolks, provide additional amounts, while foods like cod liver products have long been recognized as rich dietary sources. Combined with sensible sun exposure, these foods help support healthy vitamin D levels throughout the year. But protecting your skin from within involves more than vitamin D alone. Your body also needs antioxidants. Every time ultraviolet rays strike your skin, tiny unstable molecules known as free radicals are produced. These molecules can damage healthy cells if they are allowed to accumulate unchecked. Fortunately, nature has already provided powerful defenses. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables contain compounds that help neutralize free radicals before they cause widespread damage. Carrots are one excellent example. They contain beta-carotene, a natural pigment that the body converts into vitamin A as needed. When consumed regularly as part of a balanced diet, beta-carotene supports healthy skin and helps strengthen its natural protective mechanisms. Since beta-carotene is fat-soluble, pairing carrots with healthy fats such as olive oil, avocado, yogurt, or a small amount of butter allows your body to absorb it far more effectively. Tomatoes offer another valuable nutrient. When cooked, tomatoes release larger amounts of lycopene, one of the most powerful antioxidants found in food. Regularly including cooked tomato products in your meals may help strengthen your skin's resilience against environmental stress. Green tea also deserves recognition. Rich in natural plant compounds called catechins, green tea provides antioxidants that help defend skin cells from oxidative damage. Enjoying a few cups throughout the day can become another simple habit that supports healthy aging from the inside. Together, these foods don't replace sunscreen or common sense in the sun. Instead, they strengthen your body's own natural defenses, making your skin more resilient from within. But even if your nutrition is excellent and your vitamin levels are well maintained, one hidden factor can still quietly undo much of your progress. It doesn't come from your diet. It doesn't come from the weather. It begins in your mind. And its effects spread throughout your entire body. As powerful as nutrition, sunlight, and healthy digestion may be, there is one invisible factor that can quietly undermine all of your efforts. It doesn't leave obvious marks overnight, and you can't see it in a blood test after a single bad day. Yet over months and years, it influences nearly every organ in your body, including your skin. That factor is chronic stress. Not the occasional stressful moment that everyone experiences, but the constant background tension that becomes so familiar you barely notice it's there. Worrying about finances, caring for loved ones, dealing with work pressure, struggling with poor sleep, or carrying emotional burdens day after day places your body in a prolonged state of alert. Your brain cannot always distinguish between a physical threat and an emotional one. Whether you're running from danger or lying awake at night worrying about tomorrow, your nervous system activates many of the same biological responses. Stress hormones begin circulating through your bloodstream, preparing your body to react. In small amounts, this response is helpful. It sharpens your focus, increases your heart rate, and gives you the energy needed to face immediate challenges. The problem arises when this emergency system never truly switches off. Instead of lasting a few minutes, it continues for weeks, months, or even years. Over time, constantly elevated stress hormones begin affecting nearly every system in the body. They contribute to ongoing inflammation, interfere with restorative sleep, weaken the skin's natural protective barrier, and influence the activity of pigment-producing cells. This is one reason many people notice that their skin changes dramatically during particularly stressful periods of life. Fine lines appear more quickly. The complexion loses its healthy glow. Dark spots seem to become more noticeable. Healing slows. Even minor skin irritation may take longer to recover than it once did. The connection isn't imaginary. Your mind and your skin communicate continuously through complex hormonal and nervous system pathways. Stress also disrupts another critical process: sleep. Many people assume sleep is simply a period of rest. In reality, your body performs some of its most important repair work while you sleep deeply. Skin cells renew themselves, damaged tissues begin recovering, hormones rebalance, and inflammatory processes gradually settle down. When sleep becomes fragmented or too short, this overnight maintenance program cannot operate efficiently. Night after night, small deficits accumulate. Eventually, they become visible on your face. Fortunately, reducing the effects of stress doesn't always require dramatic life changes. While eliminating every source of worry isn't realistic, changing how your body responds to stress is entirely possible. One of the simplest techniques involves controlled breathing. Slow, deliberate breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system responsible for rest, recovery, and healing. When this system becomes active, your heart rate slows, muscles relax, blood pressure begins to settle, and your body shifts away from survival mode. An easy breathing exercise can become part of your nightly routine. Sit or lie comfortably in a quiet place. Inhale slowly through your nose, allowing your abdomen, not your chest, to gently rise. Pause briefly without straining. Then exhale even more slowly through your mouth, releasing the breath in a calm, controlled manner. Repeating this cycle for just a few minutes each evening can help quiet an overactive nervous system and prepare both your mind and body for deeper, more restorative sleep. Equally important is creating simple daily moments of calm, a short walk outdoors, reading a favorite book, listening to relaxing music, gardening, spending time with family, practicing gratitude. These activities may seem small, but together they help reduce the constant stream of stress signals that fuel chronic inflammation. Another important reality is that the body's ability to recover naturally changes with age. As we grow older, skin cells renew themselves more slowly than they did during youth. Collagen production gradually decreases, circulation becomes less efficient, and years of accumulated environmental exposure begin showing on the surface. This doesn't mean healthy skin is impossible. It simply means your body benefits even more from consistent support than it did decades earlier. The encouraging news is that meaningful improvements don't require perfection. Small healthy habits practiced every single day often outperform extreme routines that are impossible to maintain. Now that we've explored the internal foundations, your liver, gut, nutrition, sunlight, vitamin D, antioxidants, and stress, it's time to focus on the outside. Because while internal health always comes first, there are gentle external practices that can complement your progress without irritating the skin or making pigmentation worse. Now that you understand how your liver, digestive system, nutrition, sunlight, vitamin D, and stress all work together to influence your skin, it's time to turn that knowledge into action. Real change doesn't happen through one miracle product or a single healthy meal. It happens when small, consistent habits begin working together every day. Let's build a routine that supports your skin from the inside out. Start each morning with a glass of warm water before breakfast. This simple habit helps rehydrate your body after a night's sleep and gently prepares your digestive system for the day ahead. Follow it with a breakfast that includes fiber-rich foods such as oatmeal, fresh fruit, or whole grains. Adding colorful vegetables like grated carrots provides valuable nutrients that support healthy skin, while healthy fats help your body absorb those nutrients more effectively. Throughout the day, make room for antioxidant-rich foods. Cooked tomatoes, leafy vegetables, berries, citrus fruits, and green tea all provide natural compounds that help defend your skin against everyday environmental stress. Rather than relying on supplements alone, building your meals around whole foods gives your body a broad range of protective nutrients working together. Don't forget your gut. Include naturally fermented foods like plain kefir or traditionally fermented cabbage whenever possible, combined with plenty of dietary fiber from vegetables, legumes, fruits, and whole grains. These foods help nourish the beneficial bacteria that support healthy digestion and balanced inflammation. Movement is equally important. Your lymphatic system depends on muscle activity to circulate fluid efficiently throughout your body. Unlike your heart, which pumps blood continuously, the lymphatic system relies heavily on physical movement. Fortunately, you don't need an intense workout. A brisk walk, gentle stretching, climbing stairs, or even a few minutes of mobility exercises each morning can stimulate circulation and encourage your body's natural cleansing processes. Consistency matters far more than intensity. Your skin also benefits from gentle daily care. Avoid harsh scrubs or aggressive treatments that leave your face feeling tight and irritated. Healthy skin has a natural protective barrier, and preserving that barrier allows it to function much more effectively. Choose mild cleansing methods and avoid overwashing, especially if your skin tends to be dry or sensitive. Some people also enjoy using simple homemade masks containing ingredients such as plain yogurt, honey, or small amounts of turmeric. While these natural ingredients may offer soothing properties for some individuals, it's always wise to perform a patch test first, since every person's skin reacts differently. Gentle care should always take priority over aggressive treatments. Another surprisingly effective habit is improving circulation through facial massage. Using clean fingertips, lightly massage your face with upward and outward motions for a few minutes. This gentle practice may help promote relaxation while encouraging healthy blood flow to the skin. Combined with adequate hydration and restful sleep, these small routines contribute to a healthier overall appearance. Most importantly, be patient. Skin renewal takes time. Pigmented cells do not disappear overnight, and expecting dramatic changes within a few days often leads to disappointment. Instead, think in terms of weeks and months rather than hours and days. As your body gradually becomes healthier inside, your skin often reflects those improvements little by little. Your complexion may begin appearing more, even your skin may feel smoother, and those stubborn dark patches may slowly become less noticeable. Remember, this isn't about chasing perfection. Every person's skin tells the story of a lifetime filled with experiences, challenges, and memories. The goal isn't to erase every mark, but to create the healthiest environment possible for your body to function naturally. At the same time, it's important to recognize when professional medical evaluation is necessary. If you ever notice a spot that changes rapidly in size, develops irregular borders, varies in color, begins bleeding, or looks significantly different from your other spots, don't ignore it. Schedule an examination with a qualified healthcare professional. Early evaluation is always the safest approach. The biggest lesson from today's discussion is simple. Your skin reflects far more than your age. It reflects your daily habits, your nutrition, your sleep, your stress levels, your digestion, and the care you give your entire body. When you support those foundations consistently, healthier looking skin often follows naturally. If you found this information helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who has been struggling with stubborn dark spots or wants to better understand the connection between overall health and skin wellness. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos filled with practical, science-based health tips. Thank you for watching, and remember, every healthy choice you make today is an investment in the healthier, brighter version of yourself tomorrow.